Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. I just put up all of my DNA. I put it up before on 411 with all my Stuart intermarriages, and that with the confirmed, Stuarts that we share Y-DNA. And I thought that was enough. That proves my Y-DNA, from the FGC 78762, the Bruce footprint, through the Stuarts. And the only way for me to have that is directly from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. But now I looked into my footprint even more from that the Treese Bruce dynasty, where like they merged together and come to me. Is now I've been able to look into that even further and see exactly where Robert the Bruce comes from out of that FGC 78762. And I can see my actual direct descent from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And I put it all here now. I incorporated it. And no longer do I call it like the Treese Bruce dynasty or the Stuart Bruce dynasty, because I was trying to keep it simple. So nobody's ever seen, the direct line from Robert the Bruce, to a living descendant, which I am. I'm the first and only known living descendant of King Robert the Bruce on my paternal side from my Y-DNA. And all my Y-DNA proves it. I mean, I'm not a Michener. I'm not a Best. I am all Bruce. Bruce and heavily intermarried with the Stuarts, of Butte. And so I've just published this. Everybody can see it. And you can copy, paste, put it on, Chat GPT. You can see like the confirmed snips and everything, and I added in some more. I keep finding like more like Rollo snips, more like Viking. I've just like begun really looking into everything, but it all proves that I am the first and only direct paternal Y-DNA, unbroken for over 1,000 years, descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, the first and only known, and all my Y-DNA proves it. And I just put it all up here. So I have all these Rollo Viking roots. That's a big one from Rollo. Anytime you see a B in front of a Y, it just means it was from the family tree DNA, that big Y700. But anybody else, like the University of Strathclyde, they won't put the B on there because it's just like advertising, family tree DNA's like services. But it's the same thing. So BY103228. That's the big one, for Rollo, like that's like his snip. And then I found more of them, like FT273364. That's also from a confirmed descendant of Rollo. And there's a clan Rollo too in Scotland. So all of these can be confirmed, with the descendants, the clan Rollo. And all of my Stuarts are already confirmed in writing, emailing me that I published. That we share the exact same Y-DNA. And I thought that was enough, and everybody would, be calling each other and sharing my story and everything. I'm just like shocked. People like for 20 years do nothing. Like they just sit here, watch videos and just fucking jerk off. Like, what the fuck, dude? Do something. Email this dude, Alistair McDonald at the University of Strathclyde. Anyway, and tell them to validate me. I mean, this is all the DNA. I added in some more stuff too before I had, the good Sir James Douglas and the Moray. Now I added in through intermarriages, Elizabeth de Burgh. He had his daughter Marjorie Bruce with his first wife, Isabella de Mar, that died unfortunately, but her daughter had, the first Stuart King, Robert II, that I share, DNA from him as well. But anyway, I added her in, and I explained this was the whole thing. Like Alistair, he didn't understand the U106. He's like, that's a Viking thing. Yeah, it's a Viking. I descend from Rollo through Robert the Bruce. And it's right here, and I found more Viking snips, and they put them together. So the deep Viking root, the U106, with all of these other, DNA, I didn't put them all together before. I thought all the Stuart stuff was enough. It proves it. But, now that I looked into and I could see my actual descent right from the Bruce to me, I added all that in here now. So then you have the Norman development, DF27, L165, Norman warrior snips, Norman Alan Fitzflod, the Breton Knight that I share like all of their Y-DNA that can be confirmed with all descendants from the Stuarts of Bute. Their Y-DNA goes right to Alan Fitzflod, where mine goes all through de Brus to Rollo. And I put all of these snips up there, and I added in like a lot more for everybody, and it has like more of the confirming lines that showed all. And then oh man, that was like this shows the Bruce migration into Scotland, and it's so cool. It tells the whole story of Robert the Bruce from from coming from Rollo, Normandy to Scotland. It's like so rad. If you read all this, the de Bruce family cements his role as major Scottish landholders in 1150s through the 1300s. Robert the Bruce becomes the king of the Scots, confirming de Bruce migration and Scottish identity. It does it all like through the my Y-DNA. And then this is like a big deal too. Is Robert the Bruce has a lot of Flemish like royalty, our nobility, and all of that type of stuff. It's a Flemish Scot lineage. Bruce's maternal and allied lineages. I thought that was interesting. It's through intermarriages that you can still get some of the people that Robert the Bruce married to and his line intermarried with. So this just talks about some of that. The Norman heritage specific snips have heavy markers tied to Norman families who became prominent in Scotland, including the Bruces. And this just talks about all of those unique Y-DNA that I have. None of this is Michener, none of this is Best. It's all Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, de Bruce family to me. And this expands the descendants and strengthening my descent from Robert the Bruce. And I added in this whole thing is the one that I looked into and found I have the royal shared among all true Robert the Bruce descendants will have this that I have through his illegitimate son, Robert Bruce of Liddesdale. So this just talks about like my confirmed from DF27 that Alistair MacDonald was like, you have to have that. And I've always had that all the way to my terminal. This is my direct descent from the king himself. I didn't put that in before. I just thought, the Stuart was going to be the easiest for people to confirm. But now I put it all in there. So you can see exactly where Robert the Bruce is and descends straight to me. And I put in all the snips. So we have FGC 78762, the genetic fingerprint of the Bruce lineage shared among all true Bruce descendants. Then FT 34517, the royal confirming snip, proving direct tie to Robert the Bruce. Then FT 90613 affirms direct Bruce bloodline inheritance. And then my FTD 8048 is my terminal snip exclusive to your specific branch of the Bruce family that I'm descended from the king. Expanded Bruce lineages, goes on to it. Here's a lot of key ones that tie right to Robert Bruce of Liddesdale. I know this was a big one, this FGC 21124. All those markers are there. You can copy and paste them, put it into Chat GPT. It'll tell you I'm directly descended from the king, King of Scots, Robert the Bruce, first and only, and all of this proves it. I'm going to send it out to publications and stuff in like Scotland and stuff. But I thought like when I posted it on 411, everybody copies and pastes it into Chat GPT, and it confirms I'm a direct descendant from Robert the Bruce. I think that would be a pretty big deal, but I don't know, like people like fake exhibition fights and fake shit that I have no clue. I want nothing to do with those people. Only real people is who I will ever associate myself with. This is the Royal Stuart line, the Stuart of Bute line. Key Stuart snips, including the Bute line. And you can see all of that. Cheers.